Part 2. Śrīla Vṛndāvana Dāsa Ṭhākura says, while the devotees were happily engaged in dancing and singing, the Lord became increasingly immersed in his mood of ecstatic separation. He went to the house of Gangadas Pandit and offered his respects to the feet of his teacher, who got up and affectionately embraced his student. Gangadas Pandit said, "What a glorious life! You have liberated both the families of your mother and father. All your students have been awaiting you anxiously. They have not opened their books since you left. Even if Lord Balaram had come in person and told them to read, they would have refused. You have returned to brighten everyone's days. But go home now, and tomorrow return to begin your teaching." The Lord again offered his obeisances to his teacher before he left, and all the students surrounded the Lord like many stars surrounding the moon. He went to the house of Mukunda Sanjay and sat at his usual teaching place in the courtyard of the Durga temple. The whole household of Mukunda Sanjay was overwhelmed with joy. The Lord embraced Purushottam Sanjay and drenched him with tears of love. The ladies, elevated with joy, made auspicious sounds, and the whole house was reverberating with jubilant sounds. The Lord glanced mercifully at everyone and returned to his house. He arrived home, sat at the doorstep of his Vishnu temple, and affectionately dismissed his students. Now, whoever came and spoke with the Lord went away bewildered, unable to comprehend the change in the Lord's mood. No trace of the previous arrogance and audacious display of learning remained in the Lord's character. Everyone saw that he was completely detached and engrossed in deep meditation. Sachimata was completely at a loss. She could not understand her son anymore. She prayed constantly to Mother Ganga and Lord Vishnu for her son's well-being. She prayed, "O my Lord Krishna Chandra, you have taken my husband, and you have also taken my son Vishvarup. There is only Nimai who remains with me. Oh Krishna, I am helpless and alone. Just grant me this one favor. Let my child Vishvambara remain in the house, healthy and whole." Sachimata would bring Vishnu Priya and make her sit in front of the Lord, and the Lord would stare without noticing her. The Lord continuously recited shlokas and kept lamenting and repeating, "Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna?" At times, when the Lord roared in ecstatic bliss, Vishnu Priya ran away in fear, while Sachimata stood helpless and anxious. The ecstasy of love for Krishna kept the Lord from sleep, and his unbearable separation from Krishna made him sit up the whole night through. Yet, as soon as he saw a materialistic person, he immediately went inside himself and did not exhibit any of the ecstatic symptoms. Early every morning, the Lord went for his bath in the Ganga, and upon his return, he found the students awaiting him. The Lord uttered only Krishna's name and nothing else. The students could not understand their teacher's mood. On the students' request, the Lord sat down to teach. The students sat down and opened their books, taking the Lord's name, everybody, Hari, as they were accustomed. The son of Sachimata, Nimai Pandit, was greatly overjoyed at hearing his beloved Lord's name. He again became absorbed, forgetting his external senses, and looked upon everyone with his merciful glance. Wholly absorbed in Krishna, the Lord began explaining to his students. He told his students that the essential lesson of everything was Lord Krishna. All aphorisms, commentaries, and dissertations were actually describing the glories of the holy name. The Lord said, "The only eternal truth is the holy name of Krishna. Krishna is the only worshipable Lord in all scriptures. Krishna is the supreme controller, maintainer, and the Lord of the entire creation. Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and every other deity are his servants. Whosoever tries to explain anything without describing the lotus feet of Lord Krishna is an illusion. His words are untrue, and his birth is useless. The entire Vedanta, the Agamas, Vedic literatures recommending fruitive activities, or Tantra Shastras, and all other philosophical treatises point out that devotion to the lotus feet of Krishna is the ultimate and only goal. All the mundane scholars are mesmerized by the illusory potency of the Lord, totally lost because they cannot find shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. Lord Krishna is an ocean of mercy. He is the life and soul of every living entity. He is the most dear to his surrendered souls and is the dear son of Mother Yashoda. A person may be well versed in all scriptures, but if he has no attraction and attachment for the holy name of Lord Krishna, then he follows the path of destruction and hell. On the other hand, if a wretched and abominable person chants Lord Krishna's name, then even if he is most sinful, he reaches the supreme abode of Lord Krishna after leaving this material world. This is the verdict of all the scriptures, and if anyone doubts this, then he is the worst sufferer. If anyone tries to explain the scriptures without having taken shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, then such a degraded person can never know the true purport of the scriptures. He pretends to be a teacher of the scriptures, yet knows not the essence and message of the scriptures. He is like a washerman's donkey, carrying the load of all the scriptures. Such a soul is truly unfortunate, because in spite of his education, he has forfeited the joy of Krishna consciousness. People in general are so foolish. Instead of meditating upon the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, they meditate on other personalities, not knowing that the one Supreme Lord Krishna mercifully offered liberation even to the demoness Putana, who had come to kill him. What greater pleasure can they receive other than that obtained by glorifying Lord Krishna? Did he not redeem even the most sinful demon, Aghasur? Just the holy name of the Supreme Lord Krishna alone can purify the entire universe. Even the highest living being of the universe, Lord Brahma, experiences miseries in his life, yet he becomes overwhelmed with joy when he participates in the great Saṅkīrtana celebrations surrounding Lord Krishna. Nevertheless, these unfortunate fallen souls disregard this sublime nectar to sing, dance, and revel in inauspicious, mundane festivities, especially tonight. All the demons, that's exactly what they're going to do tonight. Do you like what Lord Chaitanya is saying here? I love this. This is powerful preaching. Amazing. Let's continue. He's not done. intoxicated by wealth, high birth, education, and the like. They do not know the wonders of the holy name of Krishna, which liberated Ajamila just by being chanted once. My dear students and brothers, please hear me carefully, for everything I say is very true. You should just worship the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna, the most precious treasure. Lakshmi Devi always desire to serve these lotus feet. Lord Shiva has become a pure devotee just by taking shelter of them. These supreme lotus feet are the ultimate source of Mother Ganga. So all of you, my dear brothers, please simply take shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. Now I send out a challenge. Refute the explanations that I have just rendered. Śrīla Vṛndāvana Dāsa Ṭhākura says, Śrī Vishvambara is the supreme absolute truth, the embodiment of transcendental sound vibration. So whatever he says is the absolute truth. The mesmerized students listened to the Lord's words with undivided attention while the Lord spoke on as if in a trance, revealing the absolute truth. The Lord explained everything in the light of Krishna consciousness and established a clear connection of every word with the Supreme Lord Krishna. This was an astonishing feat even for the Supreme Lord himself. Lord Vishvambara soon became aware of his external words, and coming out of his trance, he became shy, wondering if his students would think of him as being mad or unbalanced. So, to cover up, he said a few words. He asked the students, "How were my commentaries today?" The students replied, "We could not understand anything. You have described Krishna as a purport to every word. Who is there who can understand your explanations?" Lord Vishvambara laughed and said, "Listen, my dear brothers, pack up your books and let's go to the Ganga for a bath." The students put their books away and accompanied Lord Vishvambara down to the Ganga. They were all happy to be in the water, playing and joking. Who would like to be one of Lord Chaitanya's students? Huh? What a teacher. All right, no more studies today. Let's take a bath. Ha! Very nice. Everything okay? Lord Vishvambara, surrounded by all his students, looked like the glowing full moon rising out of the ocean. All those who saw the Lord frolicking in the waters were extremely pious and fortunate. Even Lord Brahma aspires to see the Lord like this, playing in the water. Everyone who had come to bathe kept looking longingly at the beautiful face of Lord Gaurachandra. They said to each other, "How beautiful he is! His father and mother are really blessed." Mother Ganga could not contain the joy she experienced by the Lord's presence in her waters. Her water swirled, sending out dancing waves of ecstasy. She was dancing with joy. She wanted to serve those lotus feet that are even desired by Anantashesha and all the demigods. Therefore, her many thousands of waves washed the Lord's lotus feet. Only the Vedas know the truth about all such transcendental activities of the Lord and his devotees. In the future, someone will come and reveal these wonderful pastimes of the Lord. Finishing his bath, the Lord returned home, and the students went back to their respective homes. He changed his clothes, washed his feet, and then offered water to the Tulsi plant. He performed his daily worship of Lord Govinda and came to take his meal. Everybody chant.